So, I wanted to talk briefly, real quick, my thoughts about conservative women. People get all excited anytime a woman becomes a conservative. Partly this is because of all of this hullaballoo over, what's her name? Tomi Lahren, who's 28 today. Happy birthday. But I just remember during the days when I used to be on Facebook. I'm hardly on Facebook anymore, even though I do stream live on Facebook, and I do check it. Appreciate you guys joining there. That's nice. But people would get all pumped up because they would see Tomi Lahren's final thoughts, and she would roast the liberals with, she would say factual, true things about the insanity of the liberals. But it doesn't mean that she was a sane person. And it doesn't mean that she was, right. Just had this kind of bratty voice. And I just never got that excited. Same thing with basically, I don't think people should be getting excited about these conservative women or encouraging them in their overzealous activism or whatever, because it's kind of sets them up to be, just caught up in their ego and set up to just, it's awful. You see it regularly, and then they have a quick rise and a quick fall sometimes. There's this woman who won, I think she was an Asian winner of a Michigan or somewhere like that, Miss Michigan or something like that. And she was big on Instagram and Twitter. And then all of a sudden, I think she got kicked off entirely. I don't know what happened. But the other thing is, no, I'm not confusing it with Liz Wheeler on One American News Network. But she's another one. Yeah, I'm referring to Kathy Zhu. I don't know how you pronounce the last name. Zhu. But I was thinking about that. And then there's another lady who came on The Fallen State, Millennial Woes. She's like Asian and white mix, I think, Canadian. And she's somewhat less liberal than other women. But she came down here for a Fallen State taping to debate against this progressive black guy who's, I think, either bisexual or homosexual. Oh, roaming millennial, not Millennial Woes. Sorry, dude. Millennial Woes is a Scotsman, and he smokes, and I think he's known as the soul of the alt-right, something along those lines, right? I don't know if he's atheist or Christian or what, but I'm not referring to you. I'm referring to roaming millennial. Yeah. Now she goes by her normal name, which I'm blanking on it. But she herself is pretty liberal. Lauren Chen. She ended up debating against Jesse along with this socialist black guy who's like either homosexual or bisexual or just openly kind of weird. It was like them two against Jesse Lee Peterson. Oh man, some of you guys thought that the Elijah Schaffer with Vosh versus Jesse was bad. This was even worse. I think. Maybe not. Because it's kind of bad for a male to be kind of wishy-washy or people-pleasing. But, yeah. Roaming millennial. And people were all pumped up about her. And she had been on the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, too. And then she appeared on The Fallen State. And they end up agreeing with weird things. People were all pumped up, including me, actually, with Sarah Palin. Remember Sarah Palin? She was the governor of Alaska, a female governor of Alaska. And now she and her husband are divorcing or divorced already. Her daughter has had children out of wedlock. She's anti-abortion, her daughter is. But she's having children out of wedlock. So it's like the family is a messed up situation. She should just be tending to her home, I think, Sarah Palin. And she was picked by one of the worst anti-American cucks you can imagine. Or I don't know if he picked her, but the establishment picked her, I guess, and then they regretted it, and then they tried to blame her for it. But she was picked to be the running mate of the worst rhino, one of the worst rhinos ever, John McCain. And John McCain didn't fight to win against Obama. He fought to lose. He didn't even fight. He was a kiss-up. And thankfully, she wasn't as much of a kiss-up, and she was like a Tea Party lady. You know, she said a lot of stuff that's true, but it's not right. And then even I like this lady too, but she's like, and she's friendly with the Groypers, Michelle Malkin. Something seems off with it when these women are all into this politics thing. And there's another woman I really like, Michelle Bachmann. Anytime that I used to hear her on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and I heard her speak too, solidly pro-Trump and stuff like that. Christian, conservative lady, but it just doesn't seem so right. It doesn't seem right. So I don't think that we should be... It's kind of like there was a caller who called into my show, and I guess I'm kind of preaching to the choir here, because you guys, a lot of you guys know this stuff, but anytime there's a POC or a minority or a woman or a, sometimes for some people, gay conservative or gay Republican who's pro-Trump or anti-liberal, people get all excited. Brief point about, what's her name? Tomi Lahren. I noticed that she used that ethnic slur, Tatiana, which is a slur I think of as a slur against black females. Because, you know, black females, nowadays, they are thought of as... I mean, didn't the blacks come up with the term thought? It must have been a black term, right? It's totally a black term. And you know what's funny is back when Jesse Lee Peterson was a young adult, he went to a college over here to find a white woman because the white women were more freaky, according to what he heard. At least than the black women down in the South. According to him, right? According to him. He did manage to have a child out of wedlock, so they must not have been that pure. But anyways. Well, maybe the city black females were like that. That's my guess. Even from those days. Because the city is where you go to get corrupt. Traditionally, right? Traditionally, that's where the corruption is. And even to this day, you look at the cities... That's where the gays go. If they don't go to San Francisco or Atlanta or New York City, they'll go into L.A. or, oh yeah, West Hollywood. Who am I kidding? But they go to the cities where there's more population, there's more degeneracy, there's more likely to run into fellow homosexuals. It's sick. So... It's very interesting. Maybe that's partly why they attack and smear the South. And you'll see movies like this where they just attack small towns as being a world unto themselves, and they get away with doing all these wrong things because there's no federal government to oversee what they're doing. Yeah, right. The federal government is part of the corrupting influence in many cases. Or the state level is very corrupting. So it's so sick. I forget what that had to do with, oh, yeah, finding the females. But yeah, this Tatiana thing, if she's having sex out of wedlock, I don't know if she is or not, and I don't want to speculate, but that makes her, doesn't that make her a thought Aaron? Because, you know, we whites don't like, or at least I, as a white man, don't like them using this Karen thing at every white woman. Because sometimes the Karens are saying something right. Actually, I think that they're usually saying something that's true or right, and they're just getting harassed for it. But partly it's because women should be kind of a little bit more quiet. So it's kind of wrong people versus wrong people. You know what I mean? Chris says it's the non-white Karens that you got to look out for. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Yeah, That's true. The people crying Karen are usually like either homosexuals or far left black females or female-minded liberals who are just, or rhinos, right? Just every bit as meddling and judgmental and nasty as the people that they're, the white females that they're judging. Maybe worse in most cases. You know what I mean? Like the Central Park Karen lady, right? The Central Park Karen who freaked out when the black guy tried to coax her dog to him, or scare her anyways. They judged her way worse than and tried to punish her way worse than. Yeah, she called the cops and said that he's threatening my life, but she didn't know what was going on. Anyways, I'm happy that, by the way, I'll just remind you, you probably know. Yeah, she overreacted, but the guy was acting weird. And then on top of that, the lynch mob was way out of line and over the top against her. They overreacted against her. So it's just a vicious circle. And these times, it does seem like, even with friends and family members, I think, it seems like people are stressed and not handling it right. And people are just killing each other in some cases more frequently. And plus, the attack on cops and the Black Lives Matter idiots are not helping the situation, nor is the caving to them helping. Concern trolls is a good term for it, yeah. Joe Maddock gave a diamond and said, Tomi Lahren is for abortion. She doesn't know truth. Yeah. Noah's Ark, Kansas with a couple of diamonds. Daryl Wayne gave a diamond and said, Tomi Lahren attracts trash. Yeah. Not to be malicious towards her, but she was calling the men trash, but she's trash herself. Look at that personality. I don't think she's conscious of how conceited she comes off. Or I don't think that she would come off that way. It's sometimes shocking how women are like that. Certain women. Evgeny Crosby 2020 says, Tomi is looking for a beta male to control, a.k.a. Hake. Whoa. Whoa. But thank you for the diamond. I'll take it. Hey. But no, I don't think I would. I think that I would, I would rebel. I would rebel. Anyways.